Hey, this is Mr. Elmhorst with a sixth grade math lesson. We're going to be looking at subtracting integers, and this should be lesson 5 in our notebooks. So we're going to first take a look at the first integer in an operation and see what we have to start with and then what is happening. So first we have 5, and we're going to treat that as if it's a positive 5. There's no sign in front. So down below, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 positives, and then something is happening to the 5 positives, and then you're going to look at a second integer here. This second integer is negative 3. So I have 5 positives, and we're going to treat subtraction as we're going to end up with less of something. I have 5 positives, and then we're going to end up with less of something. The second integer is negative. So the idea is I have 5 positives, and we're going to have less negatives. So if we're having less negatives, what that means is we are going to get more positives. So if we're less negative, we're going more positive. So starting off with 5, and we're going to get more positive because we're taking away negatives. We can rewrite this expression saying as less negative is going to be more positive. There's your first integer, and then what happened after that? We got less negative, which is more positive. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 integer chips. And we are going to take away 1, 2, 3. We're going to take away 3 negatives, which means we are getting more positive. So the strategy that we're going to use instead of always explaining it this way is we're going to keep what we started with. We're going to keep the 5 negatives, and then we're going to change what is the subtraction to, instead of what we're not getting, what we're taking away is what we're going to get more of. So taking away negatives means you're going to change this and change this to show what we're going to get more of instead of what we're going to get less of. So we have 5 and we're going to get more positive. So keep, change, change. So what this is going to end up saying is we had 5 minus 5 take away 3 negatives means we're going to end up with 8 positives. Okay, going to the next example, just kind of get into it a little bit. If there's no sign in front of this number, we're going to treat it as a positive. So I have 3 negatives. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 negatives. That's what we're starting out with. 3 negatives. And I am getting less positive. So I have 3 negatives and I'm getting less positive. So if I'm getting less positive, that means I'm getting more negative. So we're going to keep the first integer. That doesn't change. And then we're going to change it to, instead of a less statement, we're going to change it to a more statement. I am getting more negatives. Keep, change, change. So add a line and then change this sign. So subtracting positives is the same as adding negatives. So getting less positive means you're getting more negative. So if it's more negative, then you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more negatives. So you had 3 negatives and then you got more negatives. So now you have a total of 8 negatives. So just using the strategy for a few more examples, we're going to start with I have 3 negatives. So it's 1, 2, 3 negatives. I have 3 negatives, and then I am getting less negatives. So you're taking away negatives. I'm getting less negatives. So that means I am getting more positive. More positives. I'm going to take that off just to show the original. So keep, change. -3 minus -5 means -3 plus 5. You're getting more positives. So we'll put the positives over here. And 0 pairs. So if you're -3 and then you're getting more positive, you're going to end up on the positive side of 0. So you were -3 and then you went more positive, you're going to end up at +2. You're going to be left with, I have -3 and I took away 5 negatives, so now I have 2 positives. So now we're just going to use the strategy. Once we get the hang of it, keep the first integer, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to keep, or we're going to, I have 3 positives. Change. Keep the first integer. I have 3 positives, and I am going to get less positives. Less positives means more negative. Now we're going to turn around and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Less positive means more negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 3 positives and I get more negatives. When you get more negatives, those are going to cancel each other out, and you're going to be left with 2 negatives at the end.